This is a 2024 Jeep Wagoneer base model. And if you're comparing this with a Tahoe Yukon Expedition, you get a whole lot more for the money with this. Special shout out to Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. If you are in the market, be sure to give them a look up. Let them know you saw the video. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see some of the options and standard equipment on this Wagoneer. Four-wheel drive was included with this Wagoneer, and base price is $65,945 with that configuration. Here's some of the colors and standard equipment. Be sure to pause it to see more, and it does continue at the very top on this side. Now, Baltic Gray was $695, and this one does have the trailer tow package for $1770. Premium Group gives you a lot of nice features for $39.95, like the tri-panel, sunroof, and destination charge is $2,000 and a total price of $74,405. And here is the fuel economy numbers on this side here. If you're new to my channel, my wife and I bought a 2022 Wagoneer. At the time they were called Series 1s, but these are just Wagoneer. And when you get this trim level, it gives you a lot of nice standard equipment. So up front you have full LED headlights and fog lights, and if you drive a lot at night, I strongly recommend the Wagoneer because the headlights are absolutely amazing. Like, they light up the entire road. Parking sensors also come standard with this build. So on the side, pulling into the garage, you have that sensor there, which helps not to scuff the side. And because this one has a tow package, you guys see right there, this one has the tow hooks down below. And black accent on the gray, I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish they would just do a whole color match, but it does add a nice contrast overall. But having the slots in the grille and the Wagoneer on the top of the hood, it is a really nice build. And I do like the overall styling, especially this one having the 20-inch wheels, which were an option. Not my favorite design, but if you don't want to change the wheels in the future, I do recommend this one over the standard wheels because they're 18s and they do nothing for the design. Like, we actually upgraded the wheels to a 22 from the Grand Wagoneers and it looks amazing. But this is the 20, as I mentioned. They're wrapped in a Bridgestone dueler tire. And in case you want to see that tire size, 275, 55, 20. Independent front suspension. You cannot get air suspension with the regular Wagoneer. You have to move up to like a Series 3. And you have power deployable running boards at that higher trim level too. Now, one thing I do like is the black trim on the mirror, so it does contrast well with the lower part of the bumper, the fender flares, which are black too. And it does have a really nice design, as I said. Like, I like these going down the road. They look great. You have a black accent on the top of the roof rails. Smart key system just for the front doors, not the rear. And they do give you a convex heated mirrors and blind spot monitoring. There is a turn signal right here. And more badging down below. Black accents around the windows. And I believe this has a 26-gallon fuel tank too. Full LED taillights out back. And as I said earlier, very classy. Now, they do not give you a sensor on the side for the Wagoneers, but once you go up in trim level and up to the Grand Wagoneers, they do give you that sensor on the rear. But you do have parking sensors out back. They do hide your Class 4 receiving hitch too. Backup camera is right there with the sprayer. And, to no one's surprise, power liftgate. Now, even with the third row seat up, there's a ton of space back here. Like, look at how much space you have. You can put 3 medium-sized suitcases back here, 12-volt powers there, subwoofers in the rear, and that's how you drop the tailgate. There's a little bit of storage down below, and as you guys saw in the window sticker, these were an option. Your jack is underneath this plastic trim piece here. There is lighting out back too, and if you want to drop that tailgate, you push the button. It gives you about 3 seconds to move from under, and then it will drop down. And then here's just one more look at your tail lights. LED license plate lights too. And then here's that gray in the shade. Now, a lot of people prefer the V8, which is why we bought our 2022. I did not want this engine for the first model year, but I will be honest though, I would venture to say this is a pretty overbuilt engine. For example, you're gonna have a forged and twisted steel crankshaft, which is classed by forged steel connecting rods. The main bearing cradles are cross-bolted aluminum blocks, and they do feature a closed deck design. 420 horsepower comes on around 5,200 RPMs, and 468 pound-feet of torque comes on around 3,500 RPM. So no matter how you look at it, this engine outperforms the V8 in every way. The only thing I'll say, the only thing is, if you don't know how to drive this twin-turboed engine, you're gonna get worse fuel economy around city, getting on the interstate, things like that. But if you're cruising, this engine is gonna beat the 5.7 for sure. Now we're gonna go through the interior, and I figured I'd do something a little different. I want to start from the third row seat. Now this is an 8-passenger. You have the option to have a 7-passenger setup. You have a button at the very top of the seat right there that will pretty much allow the seat to lunge forward, and it makes it easier to get in and out of that third row seat. Now I've sat back here in mine a few times, and I can attest, this is a big SUV. The biggest advantage is the floor sits lower in these Wagoneers, so you can get really comfortable back here. Now the rear seats, they do recline, so here's how much they're going to recline there. And this one, having that optional sunroof, is a really nice upgrade. It does have a screen out back here, so if you have younger kids and they don't want the sun in their eyes, they can actually slide that closed. LED lighting, you do have a hook right here to hang some things. There are air vents, 2 USBs, type C to the left, type A to the right, cup holder, a little bit of storage. All this is hard plastic though, unfortunately. And look how much space I have. Like, there's a lot of space in this rear seat. 3 across, as you would expect. And I think that 3 adults could sit back here pretty comfortably. Now, there are no air vents on the roof, so the roof does sit a little bit higher, which gives you more headroom. Now, if you climb out, you do have this guy to hold on to. And there's a step right there. And then of course you can just either step out on the running board. But it is pretty easy to get out. The second row, these seats, if you have young children and car seats, these seats do slide forward and back too. And I believe these are all individual, so you can actually like slide the center one up by itself, like this. So if you have a child that's a little bit younger, you can get them a little bit closer to feed them, things like that. And 4 USBs down below. You have a 12-volt power plug, and you have a home style plug there. Single zone climate control. Again, air vents are all on the sides or right here. Seat back pockets. I don't like how they finished this in plastic. This is going to get torn up over time, I will be honest. That's the only thing I don't like about that. But they do provide grab handles and panoramic sunroof right there. And the reason why I like these larger sunroofs, you see those mountains over there? I always mention this, but that's why I like the bigger sunroofs for myself and my wife and my kids. Now, everything that you guys are going to see up front is going to pretty much come standard. So as you guys can see, seat memories, standard. You cannot power fold the front mirrors. That's the only thing I wish it had. Automatic up and down for the front windows, automatic down for the rear. 12-way driver seat, power steering column, power pedals, automatic headlights. All that comes standard on the Wagoneer. Leather seats come standard. Even on the Yukon, you have on the SLE model comes with just your basic cloth seats. Now the only advantage to the Yukon is it is potentially a 9-passenger SUV. Love the 2-spoke steering wheel. My wife loves it too. That's something that she actually told me about. We're actually looking to order a GX550, and she likes to kind of drive with her hand down below. I like that too. Stepping in, very easy. It doesn't sit too high, and you have a fully digital gauge cluster, and this is a 10.1-inch screen. Heated and ventilated seats come standard with that heated steering wheel. Dual climate control. This one does have some different drive modes that you can see right there. Your cup holders are right there, and closing the door has a nice sound. Oh, a little bit harder. Has a nice sound to it. Alpine sound system. A little bit of animations. Push button starts right here. And this screen is fully customizable. And one thing I like about this screen here is you see the background, you have like a marble look to it. You can change that if you like. Auto dimming mirror, you have a backup camera right there. And with the heated seats and ventilated seats, if you would like, you could actually change the zone that you have for that. There's 3 levels for both. There's actually 3 levels for your heated steering wheel too. And if you want, you could actually control some of that stuff inside the screen too. But I like that they give you the buttons on the outside. Home screen, you can actually customize this. This is called widgets. And you have a couple pages where you can put specific things that you would like to see in here. For example, if you want your seats and wheel controls in there, you have that option. So you can put that there. You have your navigation. Then if you want to make it bigger, you can just push right there. And then you have your navigation like this. This does have auto stop start. You can turn off the traction control, caution lights, and you have the parking sensor that you can disable. Tow haul mode. And this cover does hide some of your USBs and 12-volt power there. You have a little bit more storage right there. This has the most USBs of any SUV on the market. And deep storage there. Really nice leather treatment to the center. And let's go ahead and check out up top. So full LED interior lighting. You have a place for your sunglass holder, or if you want to check on your kids, you have that too. Home links up here. LED lighting for your vanity on both sides. Let's check out the passenger side. 12-way passenger seat. And here's just that door one time. Glove box is lockable. And these headrests do go up and down, in and out. Now, in case you wanted to see the numbers on the door, the gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 3,900 pounds. The rear is 4,600 pounds. 7,500 pound gross vehicle weight rating. And here's the payload at 1,458 pounds. Also, I didn't show this to you, but your trailer brake is just below your engine stop start button right there. And that was a part of that package for heavy duty trailering. Now, even though online they can advertise this tow like over 7,000 pounds, it might be closer to like 9,000 pounds. I would not tow that much with this. This has a shorter wheelbase. The tires aren't really set up for that kind of weight. So if you would like to tow with this, I would say stay around 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. Like I towed a 3,000 pound travel trailer with ours, and at 65 miles an hour, it was a little squirrely for me. And I tow pretty often, so just keep that in mind. But I hope you guys liked the video. Special shout out again to Larry H. Miller here in Sandy, Utah. Let them know you saw the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. See you guys soon.